All right, everybody, welcome back to the Johnny Show, episode 2. And we're back. It's amazing. I'm glad to be back, everybody. I've been trying to do. I'm gonna go and try to do these episodes. Once a month. I want to make sure that we keep in touch. You hear from me, Johnny. Make sure you get your sugar. You get what you need. To get through the month. And there's a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff's been going on the past couple weeks. We had a trailer released of the Star Wars Episode 9. And a lot of you may not know. I never really talked about it. I'm a little ashamed, to be honest, but I do like Star Wars. Like the originals, of course. The originals with Luke Skywalker, Mark Hamill, all that good stuff. The prequels, they were okay. They were all right. They had some good moments. You had Darth Maul, flinging around a double-edged light sword type thing and, slashing Qui-Gon Jinn or something like that. It was a good, Ewan McGregor, he did a great job as Obi-Wan. I thought he really got the whole beard down. The accents, is very good. Episode 2, not good. Definitely not good. The Clone Wars or whatever, definitely not good. A little too much CGI. But, so then, we were like, is there going to be another Star Wars? Is there going to be another Star Wars? And then, boom, Lucas sells it to Disney, Mickey Mouse himself. And, at first, we had Episode 7 come out. We were excited for it. I was excited. I was glad to see the old cast come back out. You got Harrison Ford. You got Leia. You got Luke Skywalker coming back. And, at first, I went and I saw it. I saw Episode 7. And, I was tearing up. I was tearing up a little bit, seeing, C-3PO and, the little guy, the other guy, rolling about. It was good to see some familiar faces. But, it's, when you're there, it's beautiful. You've got the big screen, you've got your soda, you got your popcorn. And, you're excited. You're loving it. You're in the moment. You're loving this movie. But, then you leave and you're thinking, wait a second. That was a whole lot like A New Hope. They had the new Death Star. It was pretty much the same exact movie. So it was a bit disappointing. And then they came out with 8, and I was excited for it. I saw it the week that it came out, and it was just utter trash. Let's be honest here. They try to take some risks, you know what I mean? I get that, but there's no continuity between it. The whole who is Rey's parents, you're nobody. And I'm fine with that, because you don't want everybody to be a Skywalker in this universe. But you're building a story, right? You're building a story, and people are, they got their theories. Who's it gonna be? Is it gonna be, Han Solo's child, Luke Skywalker's child? What's it gonna be? And then when it gets to the point in Episode 8, they just say nobody. It ain't nobody. And that was a red flag right there of understanding what's going on with this trilogy, because they build it up and then they say, nah, never mind, I changed my mind about that. Because then you had Snoke, right? You said, who is this guy? Who is this big, bald, weird, skinny dude guy? What's he all about? Is he Palpatine? Something? Or is he, I forgot his name, but, Palpatine's master. But then they're just like, no, he just dies. And so it's like a 3-hour, 2-hour race between, the rebel and the new order. It was a terrible movie. It was absolutely terrible. And then they bring out this trailer episode 9. And half of it is just footage of the old movies, and that's great. I like those movies. We like those movies. But why would half your trailer be those movies? Are you trying to make us, feel nostalgic? Maybe be like, if we see the old footage, maybe we'll like the new stuff. So then you see Rey, eventually, and she's got a double flip phone lightsaber type thing, and what was it? I mean, obviously that's got to be some type of vision or something, because there's no way that Disney has the balls to actually do something like that. But it's just ridiculous, because this whole character, everything's been given to her. She hasn't had to do any training whatsoever. All of a sudden she can just do all of this stuff, and she gets Luke Skywalker's lightsaber, which was his father's, just because, and then all of a sudden, in this trailer, she has the double lightsaber Darth Maul type thing. It's ridiculous. Everything's just given to this character compared to all the previous characters that had to actually go through some sort of training or something. At least something to get to the point where she's at. There's just zero character development. Let's just be honest here. And then they're bringing back Palpy. What? Darth Sidious, why is he back? I mean, they did the whole let the past die, but they're sure having a hard time letting that past die. Talking about. So that's ridiculous. Not sure if I'm going to see it, to be honest. Not very sure I'm going to see it at all. I'm kind of done with the whole thing. Kind of like a whole Subway type thing. I don't eat there anymore. I don't eat Subway sandwiches. I mean, sometimes. And then, we get that. And then they go ahead and release a new Terminator 7 or whatever it is trailer. And it looks absolutely terrible. I mean, it's supposed to be set after Terminator 2. They totally got rid of all the other, the other episodes, the other movies, excuse me, just for continuity. I get that. The other ones were crap. But it doesn't make sense. The trailer, it doesn't make sense, because in Terminator 1, Terminator 2, it's all about John Connor. Got to make sure that he survives for the future. In this trailer, where is he? I don't see him. Do you see him? I do not see John Connor. That's what the whole story is all about. Then you got some new type of cyborg, because she's not a Terminator. She's this lengthy, skinny woman, and she is half robot, half human. So I'm gonna go with the cyborg right there. What's the deal with that? You know what I mean? Are we supposed to believe that she's got some, strength behind those arms? I don't think so. I mean, just look at that. Looks like a wet noodle. You know what I'm talking about? The CGI, too much. Way too much CGI. James Cameron, if you listen to this, what the hell happened? What happened? In the older ones, you had a mixture of CGI and practical effects. This one, he looks like, I know you're just a producer on this, but it looks like you just don't give a crap. You're just like, just throw it out there. You know what I mean? I hope to see a leader. I hope that this money, I could use for my next Airbender or whatever it's called type movie. Maybe Titanic 3, whatever you want to do. But it looks terrible. Just let the franchise die. Let it die. It's hasn't been good since T2. You know what I mean? You had Terminator 3, terrible. A lot of forced jokes. Salvation, it's out of all of the sequels after T2, in my opinion, it's probably somewhat the best, because at least we get to see the aftermath of, when Skynet takes over and it all goes to hell. But, of course, it's not very good. I think the problem they have with these sequels is that they're forgetting about the theme song. Ba 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 ba. Where'd it go? They're not putting any of it. You know what I mean? And then you got Genesis, and that is a mess of a movie. Definitely a mess of a movie. You knew like a million miles away that you could tell who the bad guy was. I mean, just look at the guy's face. So the franchise is in trouble, and I think that at this point, just let it die. Just let it go. Just you're hold on to it on the edge of a cliff, and he's come with me if you want to live, type thing. But this time you say no. You got to die. I'm sorry about that. So a couple crappy movie trailers coming out. Another thing that I wanted to talk about is, this whole chicken sandwich deal going on, between Popeye's chicken and Chick-fil-A, I believe. Oh, wait, nope. I believe there's so many sandwiches. But, people run around the block. They're waiting 30 minutes for a chicken sandwich. Can you believe it, everybody? 30 minutes at least for a chicken sandwich. I get it. I get it. Tommy and I, we used to. We love sandwiches. So we've gone to some really, really good places, and we've had to wait for a good sandwich. We used to go to Subway at least 5 times a week, at least. And, you know what happened, but, we stopped going there, but, we are sandwich enthusiasts. But, this is a bit ridiculous for a chicken sandwich. You can go to McDonald's, you can get a $1 chicken sandwich, or you can go over to, pretty much any other place and get a chicken sandwich. So I'm not exactly sure what's so great about this sandwich, but, maybe I'll try it out. Maybe I'll go down there. I'll pick up a chicken sandwich from Popeyes, and maybe I'll do a review of it. An unwrapping. Johnny eats a chicken sandwich type of video, a vlog, I think they call it. So maybe we'll do that. We'll see. It's great to be on the YouTube, because the numbers is growing. We've doubled the subscribers on this channel, and I appreciate that. I definitely do, because I know you guys want the news, the real stuff. Not filtered, just completely true and unbiased. So it's great having you guys up. Supporting this thing, whatever. I don't really deal with it. My new producer, which will be unnamed, because I'm not saying his name, because that was a problem with the old one with Jim. His name was revealed, and he got a little too much spotlight. He got a little, just a producer guy. He shouldn't be getting so much spotlight. They're like, "Where's Jim? How's he doing? Did he get married yet or something?" I can't remember. But who cares? He just presses a button. No big deal. Anybody can do it. Anybody can press a button, put together whatever he did. And it's the same thing for a new producer. He can do it. It's not a big. What he does, it's nothing compared to me. The rock star, the radio host. This is true talent, and not just electronic stuff. That's not talent. Anybody could do that. A 10-year-old could do that. They do it. So, anyways, it's great that we are back here. And we're going to be having some guests in the future. I'm working on one right now. He was he's a longtime fan, Walter. And, if you followed the Tommy and Johnny show, you would definitely remember him. He's different. He's definitely dedicated. He's definitely a dedicated fan. But sometimes his motives are questionable. And if you listen to me, Walter, I do not mean a disrespect towards you, but you're a little strange. You're leaving me voicemails. You're leaving me voicemails on my phone, and it's too much. It's too much. If you could just back it up a little bit. But, with that saying, we are going to have a a special guest on the show. And, maybe it should be Walter. He's a longtime fan. So, we'll go ahead and we'll have you on the show. I'm sure the fans definitely want to hear from you, And we'll get you on the... Also, what we're going to be doing with this episode is we're going to be having a flashback segment. That's right, everybody. Because, we've been doing, Tommy and I have been doing this a long time. And so we have some, from our radio show, before it was a podcast, way better, because podcasts are for amateurs, except for me, because I've been doing it a long time, so it doesn't really, this just amplifies, enhances, my, the whole show. So, we used to have a radio show, and, we have some recordings that I don't think everyone has heard. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to have a flashback sequence, segment type thing. So I was thinking about having that at least maybe every episode, maybe every other episode, we'll see. So let's go ahead and let's take our first lesson. That's right, America. You're here with the Johnny Pasticini, Tommy Pasticini show. I thought we mixed it up a little with the name there, but I'm not quite sure if I like it or not, but...
Hi, how's it going, everybody? How's it, everybody? This is Tommy and Johnny. Sorry to give you a little mix up at the beginning, but it's just, it's old Tommy and Johnny hour now. Anyway, we, hope you're feeling all right,
I'm good. I'm doing great.
It's the weekend again, you always get, we always do it on the weekend because that's the only time I'm ever off from my job, But,
Tommy used to own a sandwich shop.
Well, you always talk about the sandwich shop, and I always tell you not to talk about it anymore, but that's all right, Johnny. I know you're dumb in the head.
It went out of business. Nobody liked it.
I loved it. Anyway, today, it's a beautiful day today.
It's great. It's about maybe like 98 degrees
It's
outside.
a beautiful, like, 80 degrees,
wind. It's great. I'd love to feel it.
It's great weather. It feels good. It feels good on my skin. I got that psoriasis, and, it feels good on my skin.
Yeah, that's right. This weekend,
It got real dry,
He got really dry.
Real dry. My skin just gets real, like, scaly,
It's gross.
It's terrible.
To be honest,
it's awful. You have to go to the doctor and get a prescription, dermatologist. I see him every day, Dr. Jones.
Jesus Christ.
He's a real good guy, real good guy. He takes real good care of me. But,
does he lotion you down? He's got
to. He's prescribed. He's a doctor. He just gives me a good old rub down. Yeah, I feel great afterwards.
Is this the pharmacist that does this?
No, it's a dermatologist.
He rubs you down.
He rubs me down.
Does he get into your little Tommy pots? What is he? Does he get down?
Well, he's got to get the Tommy pots. It's especially dry.
I understand. Okay, so but this weekend we are actually not on the East Coast, and ladies and gentlemen,
That's right, everybody. We're in beautiful California. That's
beautiful
right.
California.
That's right. You can hear the ocean.
Piece of crap.
I mean, we're about
West
40
Coast.
miles from the ocean, but you can hear it somewhat.
Yeah, I don't like.
I don't think this piece of shit picks it up very well, but yeah.
Yeah, the West Coast people. I don't, are they on drugs all the time? They always seem like they're so down. They talk so slow.
Well, it's just, sometimes, and people on the West Coast, they're real chill. They don't like to get into it too much. Me, Johnny, when someone's, yelling at my sister, I don't stand for that. I always got to say something back to them. But Johnny over here, he just, he's an only child,
I mean, that's right.
Never had no brothers and sisters, so he doesn't understand the thing I'm talking about.
Well, who needs it? My parents gave me a great life, lots of snacks, growing up, lots of soda, all for me, Tommy's choking over here, he's a little sick,
Sorry, everybody.
Yeah, Tommy, take a seat.
Sometimes you just get a little cough in your throat,
and you keep talking through it. You just keep, you think everybody wants to hear you cough?
It's just, no, I don't think anybody wants to hear me cough, Johnny. I'm just saying, I'm a little under the weather today, okay?
And you bring that into the studio.
It's okay.
You know,
But, the contagious part is over.
you're talking about like descaling on your penis, and then you
well, that's a whole nother story, actually.
It's like finding a snake skin. You know, what I mean, I can just imagine your apartment.
Well,
it must have like all these.
It's just awful. I just flake everywhere.
You're just like shedding all over the place.
You come in. I sit there. I fall asleep. I take a nap. Sometimes right before I go to work, and I wake up and it's goddamn, like ethereal version of me. Sitting there on the couch. Same thing. It's just my skin. Just touch is a fragile thing. But it's pretty gross. I don't want to talk about this no more, Johnny. So,
we're gonna be getting to some calls.
We're gonna get some calls here.
We're gonna get to some calls. We're gonna talk about this whole.
It's been a great weekend. I had my Subway this morning. I love Subway.
We love Subway. We love it. 3 times a week.
We'll never go wrong with the sandwiches there. That's right.
We always go to the same shop.
So we're gonna make some calls here.